The Church didn't seem to mind a bit. In fact, he even encouraged him to stay right there. Take a look. Delight. The boy then continues to engage the Pope in quiet conversation, kissing the papal cross hanging around his neck.
Qualcuno si offende nella famiglia.
We've since learned he is a 6-year-old.
Mario Bergoglio was born in Buenos Aires. One of 5 children born to Italian immigrants, he studied to be a chemist, but in 1969 turned to the priesthood. Bergoglio joined the Society of Jesus, the formal name for the Jesuits, and adopted an austere lifestyle. As Archbishop of Buenos Aires, he could have lived in a palace, but instead lived in a modest apartment. He even rode the bus.
This is a true man of God, a man of deep spiritual life, and a man who knows what the church needs in the 21st century.
In his native Argentina, Bergoglio made it his mission to work among the people, to fight on behalf of the poor. He was elevated to cardinal in 2001 by Pope John Paul II, and in 2005, Bergoglio was runner-up to Cardinal Ratzinger, who would become Pope Benedict XVI, the man he now succeeds.
He's a first. The first non-European pope in 1,300 years. The first ever to take the name Francis. These 2 short facts give us a clue as to who he is. In Buenos Aires, he made his name speaking out against poverty. An echo of his namesake, Francis of Assisi, whose mission was to help the poor. His was a powerful voice in the last decade as Argentinian society fractured amid economic crisis. But he was speaking out against many other things too. Contraception, gay adoption, and gay marriage, which he said was an attempt to destroy God's plan. Not the words of a man who will necessarily be a modernizer. But Pope Francis is a Latin American Jesuit who wants to recover the Church's traditional political influence in politics. He's the son of Italian immigrants. He was born in Argentina in 1936. He's one of 5 children from a middle-class family. He obtained degrees in chemical engineering and philosophy and was ordained as a priest in 1969. He became a cardinal in 2001 and was named as a possible successor to Pope John Paul II in 2005.
This is a man of dynamic orthodoxy, genuine missionary fervor. I think he'll be very appealing to young people. This is a man who knows that there's a lot that needs fixing in the central machinery of the church here in Rome, and I think he will go about fixing it very quickly.
Bergoglio told the cardinals he was taking the name Francis in honor of the 13th century St. Francis Assisi, who gave up his family's wealth to live in poverty. That Spartan outlook was evident in his choice of simple white robes, as he was announced to the faithful around the world. He's never actually worked inside the Vatican, but some have no doubt he's up to the task.
This is a wonderful choice. We have a decent, compassionate, strong, smart man.
A man who now becomes the first cardinal from the Americas to head the Roman Catholic Church again.
Pope Francis overcame some serious health issues as a teenager. He had a lung infection, and doctors actually had to remove his lung, so he has one lung. And I should
want the church to be, in his words, obsessed with small-minded rules that have led to so-called culture wars. I prefer a church, he wrote in his first published work as Pope, which is bruised, hurting, and dirty because it has been out on the streets, rather than a church which is unhealthy from being confined and from clinging to its own security. He figured, washing the feet of juvenile prisoners, women as well as men, Muslims as well as Christians.